just talking a little bit about the Blue Jays. I just wanted to touch on the rotation, as I think we may have the rotation in baseball. We got a lot of good arms, a lot of young guys. I love our bats, but you got to be careful of, like, I was watching the West, right, the other day. The Dodgers and the Giants and the Padres, they're just loaded with talent. I think if we got the best player in baseball, I think Vladdy's the best player in baseball. Manoah is just a beast. So I think it's going to be, like you said, Brad, I think it's going to be fun to watch the Blue Jays this year. What I don't like is the way they show off. I don't like how they show off with the home run jacket, and I just don't like that. Like, don't show that it's not your first home run. Like, do a Barry Sanders. Just hand the ball off and go to the dugout. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like that.
I think you come from an older era, which is fine, Jay. I totally understand your take on that. I think it makes the game more exciting, especially when the Greater Toronto area it's predominantly a Maple Leaf town. Even in the springtime, even in the summertime, you have a really hard time packing that Rogers Center. So anything that they can do to make the game a little bit more exciting, their product more exciting, it's all about marketing. And this home run jacket, as you call it,
Yeah,
it's a marketing tool, and it's been extremely successful. And
it has.
I don't see it going away anytime soon.
I mean, I don't mind the home run jacket. I just wish they would tailor down their excitement, because, like, let's take Drake, for example. When the Raptors are winning, Drake's all happy, high five and smile, la la. And when they're losing, he is the biggest crybaby in the world. Like, I watch him, it's like, well, you can't have it both ways, Drake. You're all happy when they're winning, but when the team's losing, you start, like, whining on the side and yelling at the other players. You can't do that. You got to be a pro on both sides. That's my take. A little bit.
I think with Drake, as a fan, and I'll use fan in quotes, because he's obviously a international recording artist, and Drake can do pretty much whatever he wants. He's the ambassador to the team, unofficial ambassador, obviously, but he's done wonders for
Yeah.
this organization. He's helped put them on the map, from a I don't know what the word is, but outside of sports,
Well,
there's a
he's brought his high profile to the team, obviously, because he is a worldwide performer, and one of the best, if you like that type of music. But and all props to him. I just think he should, I don't tone it down. Like, don't be like Spike Lee, and don't do, like, you know what I mean. Just take it easy a little bit on the sidelines. But that's just my take. I guess I'm a little bit more conservative, and like you said, I come from a different era where, if you were a showboater on the ice back in the 70s, guess what? You're going to get it from somebody on the other side, or maybe somebody from your own team. Like, settle down.
and you know what, things happen, and the game evolves, whether we're talking about basketball or we're just touching a little bit on hockey there. The game evolves, and circumstances occur where the game must evolve. And I honestly, again, personally, I do think it's great. You were just touched on Spike Lee there. He's there with the Knicks. He's their super fan, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I know that Jack there with the Lakers. Everybody knows where Jack sits when
Yeah.
he's in crypto.
Yeah. So I guess we have our own guy. Yeah. And we got Bieber too, right? For the Leafs, right? So.
Well, I mean, I don't think we should admit that to too many people. But yeah,
So let's transition now. Let's talk some NHL playoffs. So before we get to the Leafs, I'm just going to give you the list of the other matchups, and just give me each team, quickly. So right now it's Florida versus Washington.
Oh, you I don't think you can ever go against Ovi, but Florida is just such a good, solid team. They are honestly their forwards are great. They picked up Giroux. Bobrovsky had a little bit of a rough go there for a bit, but Knight picked it up a little bit, and then their back end is fairly strong. There's not a lot of household names there, but they really are a solid team. I see them winning in maybe 6.
I'll go Florida too. Yeah, I'll go Florida. I think Washington is I mean, they've been through the grinder. They're a little longer in the tooth. Florida's hungry. They picked up some key acquisitions. So we both go Florida. We're going to leave Leafs in Tampa for the end. Carolina and Boston. Ooh.
You know,
Ooh.
being a Leafs fan or being from the Greater Toronto area, I really don't like Boston. They've broke my heart far too many times in the last decade. So I would really like to see Carolina win. I think they can. I think that Frederick Anderson has finally found his groove, and he's got a capable backup in Antti Ranta, who they're like a two-headed monster. And I think that that's extremely important when you're playing in the NHL playoffs. You need a two-headed monster in the event that your first guy isn't playing well or goes down. So I see them winning in maybe 5 or 6.
So Carolina. See, I would go Boston normally, but they don't have Tuukka Rask anymore, and they don't have Chara. So are they still the Boston Bruins? I'm gonna, but they got Marchand and they got Bergeron and they got Pasternak, and they just know how to win. I'm still gonna go Boston because I don't believe in Freddie. I think he's good. I don't think he's good enough. So I'm going to go Boston. Rangers and Pittsburgh. Oh, another great matchup.
Oh, good. No, that's easy. Pittsburgh in 4.
Oh, you go Pitt because of Sid?
Pittsburgh in 4. You cannot go against Sidney Crosby.
They got the number 1 goalie, though. Rangers got the number 1. And they got Chris Kreider scored 52 goals this year. I mean,
They've got Chris Kreider. They've got Adam Fox. They have they have Shesterkin. They're a really good hockey club, but I really the experience really will pay off for the Penguins.
Is Gino okay? Gino healthy?
I don't know if he is, but you know what? Like, they're not going to be leaning on their top 2 guys for a 7-game series. This is a team sport. It's not leaning on one guy or another guy.
I want to go Pitt. I'll go Pitt just because of Sid. I'll go Pitt too, but I don't know. Okay, out west now, Calgary and Nashville. You got to go Calgary.
Calgary in a sweep. They are.
Got to go Calgary. Edmonton and the Kings.
I think that this is Edmonton's year to shine, and you have to consider that the Kings are finally back in the playoffs after missing a number of years. So
you got to go Edmonton. You got to go Edmonton. I mean,
I think they win in 6.
Colorado and Dallas. Colorado.
Yes, but there's a caveat involved because they've had some injuries.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody expected Dallas to make the playoffs.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I guess that all to be. I go Calgary as long as they can withhold their injuries because they have had some like Landeskog got hurt and McKinnon, like all their top stars got hurt. So we'll see.
Kadri was hurt for a while, and I mean he's really fit in since he's left. Since he left Toronto, he's really fit in.
And how about what do you think about the Jamie Benn and Seguin? Do you think they still got enough in the tank to make it a series?
Yes, I don't think you can really go against Benn or Seguin, but it might be close. It might go 7.
Okay, in the last series, now we're going to take a quick break and come back and do the Leafs. So give us Minnesota and St. Louis.
Minnesota.
Tough series. That's going to be a tough series.
Minnesota, but it's going to go 7 because you can't really count out St. Louis, especially towards the back half of the year. They started off very, very slow. They looked awful the first half of the season. Jordan Binnington just did not look like himself, but Minnesota's just been firing on all cylinders. They picked up a bunch of guys, or at least a couple of pieces at the trade deadline that make them tougher to play against. So I think it probably goes 6.
That's going to be a good crash and bang series because they're both real big teams that like to play physical. So let's take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to dissect the Leafs. And I think that would be the show for today. So stay tuned. We're going to come back, and we're going to go through the Leafs and their potential chances in the first round versus Tampa Bay. You're watching Press Box. We'll be right back.